Hi. What makes a great leader to one may not necessarily make what a great leader would be to another person. For example, say you were to ask two people randomly on the street who they believed was a great leader. One person could reply Gandhi, the other could reply Adolf Hitler. Neither are wrong, it's just a different point of view. However, there are some leaders that, no matter who you ask, are almost undeniably great. Dr. Mike Gerhardt is one of these leaders. For my interview, I chose to interview Dr. Mike because he's a part of Music and Memory in Muncie, which is something I really personally believe in and stand by. When I read the directions, because of this, I immediately thought of Music and Memory. Through my interview with Dr. Mike, I noticed that he exhibited all the leadership qualities of the relational leadership model. There were 5 components of the model that Dr. Mike exemplified: having process-oriented leadership, being purposeful, empowering, inclusive, and being ethical. So at this point, you may or may not know what Music and Memory is. You know that it's something I personally stand by, but you may not know what it is. Music and Memory is a Ball State-run organization that focuses on bringing personalized iPod playlists to local nursing home and Alzheimer's dementia patients. Music and Memory in Muncie raises all the money to buy all the music and iPods and any other necessities that they might need to fill their mission. They then download personalized playlists that include music that the individual may remember from his or her past. According to PBS.org, music has been found to stimulate parts of the brain, and studies have shown that music enhances the memory of Alzheimer's and dementia patients. So, what do these students do? On Sundays and Wednesdays, they go to the nursing homes and they implement this. So they work individually with the Alzheimer's patients and their personalized playlists. Dr. Mike is always present. So Music and Memory did not just develop overnight. It's been a process. Out of the relational leadership model, process-oriented leadership is the element of the model that sort of wraps all the other elements together. It's how a group gets started and keeps that initial momentum going throughout time. Dr. Mike, who first got the idea of Music and Memory from a social worker in New York named Dan Cohn, who first introduced the idea of bringing iPods to Alzheimer's patients. Then in 2013, Dr. Mike watched a documentary called Alive Inside, the Story of Music and Memory. The video showed an Alzheimer's patient who, as Dr. Mike said, was really sort of out of it, but when he listened to the music, it was like he transformed into a different human being. As a professor at Ball State, Dr. Mike thought it would be a great idea to create a student service music and memory group that combined the music with young volunteers who could touch and interact with the residents. By February 2014, there were Ball State students in nursing homes working with Alzheimer's and dementia patients. The core of the relational leadership model is purpose. Without purpose, what's the point, right? So Music and Memory is very purposeful. Organization that's sole goal is to bring light, love, and memory to Alzheimer's and dementia patients that can oftentimes be missing some or all these elements in their lives. Currently, there are 30,000 nursing home residents in Indiana who need care and love that is not always necessarily given. The purpose of Music and Memory is to give love and care to these often neglected residents that Dr. Mike likes to refer to as the forgotten Hoosiers. In the relational leadership model, being empowering, inclusive, and ethical all surround the purpose. It's important for an organization to be empowering because people like to feel like they have a say in what's going on. They like to feel like what they are doing makes a difference. Because of the way Music and Memory is set up, it empowers both the residents and the volunteers because everyone is equally involved. While in the nursing home, the residents and volunteers are all part of one unit. The music and interaction empowers the nursing home residents because it makes them feel like they still matter and are loved. Even though life can oftentimes be very confusing for these particular residents, they understand and are coherent when the music and volunteers are present. Some of these residents have family that never visit, so having people visit to sing and have fun twice a week is something very special and also very empowering to these particular residents. Going to a nursing home is also very empowering for the volunteers. From firsthand experience volunteering, seeing that your time and love can actually make a real difference in someone's life is very empowering. The fact that an individual can bring memory out of someone who doesn't remember very much at all is crazy. It is definitely empowering. Although this line of work is certainly not everyone's cup of tea, Dr. Mike urges people to join because of the empowering feelings one gets from volunteering. Because of this, Music and Memory is very inclusive. Although Music and Memory is a Ball State club, anyone's welcome, and basically the idea is the more the merrier. There's even high school students from Burris. The last aspect of the relational leadership model that Dr. Mike covered was being ethical. Dr. Mike's Music and Memory strives to be ethical. For starters, the notion of going to a volunteer at a nursing home in itself is pretty ethical. Going to volunteer one's time on making nursing home residents' lives better is undeniably good and moral in nature. Additionally, another way Dr. Mike keeps Music and Memory ethical that may not necessarily initially be thought of is that he buys and pays for everything. And I don't mean he, the group buys and pays for everything. Other than donations, everything Music and Memory uses is paid for. The biggest thing is the music. Although it's not very easy to just steal iPods, it is very, very easy and also popular to pirate music. Dr. Mike thinks that it is important to stay ethical in his entire approach, and where he could easily save hundreds of dollars by downloading free illegal music, he does not and still pays for the iTunes cards, continuing his ethicality. Although the idea of what a good leader is can be different from person to person, while listening to Dr. Mike's story, I felt that it would be very hard for a person to make the point that he was not a great leader. Dr. Mike had a vision of what he wanted to do to make the Muncie community and Muncie nursing homes better, and he implemented these ideas and thoughts. Dr. Mike unknowingly uses all parts of the relational leadership model, and this has driven the program to being successful and nationally recognized. Through being process-oriented, purposeful, empowering, inclusive, and ethical, Dr. Mike successfully created a first-of-its-kind program on a college campus. Thank you.